Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing wonderfully great. I want to go ahead and make a part 2 video on the double gold raspberry. A raspberry that I made a video on just a few days ago and is by far one of the best raspberries I've tasted. And I actually left some of these raspberries. I hope you guys can see how prolific this raspberry bush is. It's not even a foot and a half, maybe at most maybe a foot and a half tall, and yet it has produced so many berries. It's just remarkable. So I purposely left these on the vine here so that I could harvest them today, and we could get these hopefully at perfect ripeness and get a really good sense of how amazing these raspberries are. I want you guys to see how easily they come off the vine, and just um, really easy. And there's so many of them. I don't think I can even harvest all of them, at least, well, not one-handed like so, but we got several here. I might just leave these two to ripen a little bit more, but there's so many more on this vine. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that this specific raspberry cultivar has a longer growing season than some of the other ones. So yeah, very pleased with it so far. Now they do call it double gold because it does produce twice a year, so it's one of the ever-bearing varieties, as we would call it. But I want to go ahead and take these inside and maybe weigh them for you, see what the average weight of these is, and then see if we can taste them and see how good or bad they are. All right, I'll get you guys inside. Okay, guys, so we're back inside. Hopefully, I got the tripod working here well, because this is a really cheap tripod, and hopefully it doesn't fall forward. But anyway, here we go. So weighing these, we get just about 3 grams. This is not weight accurate, and the reason is the scale only measures to one significant digit and no more than that. So we're getting a rough estimate here between maybe, I would say maybe 2 and 3 grams. So they are a little larger than our last video. Most of these register, well, yeah, 3 grams. Some of them are 2, but okay. And I will, well, this one's really small. And I'll go ahead and do an average here by just putting all of these on the scale at the same time. And I'll, of course, put all of these numbers in the video. So we've got about 8 of them total, and they weigh about 23 grams. So we can go ahead and assume that the average is just about 3 grams per berry. So that's pretty good in my opinion. In terms of the length or the volume of the raspberry, I think it's quite satisfactory. They are definitely on the larger size. I have seen larger than these, and I do grow larger than these. Some of the Cascade varieties that I'm going to feature at some point grow to be at least twice as large as these, and I do have gold and red. Actually, I have 2 of each. So let's go ahead and try these and see if they're any good. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely a very different eating experience than your red raspberry. It's just it really is mouth-watering. You eat one, it's an instant mouth-watering effect. You do feel like you're eating a raspberry, but that red layer is missing, and in its place you have I know maybe less acidity would be a good way to put it. They're maybe less astringent, less tangy perhaps, but not in a bad way, in a very good way. If I could choose between the red and the gold, it would be the gold every single time for me. and especially this variety here, the Double Gold, which are very, very firm berries. I've read on some forums on the internet and some other YouTube channels that these do not ship well, and they tend to fall apart and the little kernels, go all over the place. Not my experience at all. And as a matter of fact, between all of these berries, not one of them is mushy, not one. And they're just perfectly ripe and not mushy at all. And I think they would ship great. Now, how long they would last in a plastic container on the grocery store shelf or so, that I'm not sure. But in terms of a farmer's market or a small time operation, I would strongly recommend this variety, and maybe even pick them maybe when it's not raining, or maybe when it's not too sunny, so that they actually don't turn mushy at all. But in terms of flavor, it's a really pleasant flavor. What does it taste like? Very hard to describe. It's got a it kind of tastes very similar to the scent you get when you walk into an old bookstore. So it has this old bookstore scent. Well, imagine that in terms of a flavor. That is a very crude description, but that really is what comes to mind. And I don't see any of this in a bad way. I think it's very pleasing and a very rewarding plant. And for the size of that bush, which is approximately 1 foot by 1.5, to get all of these berries so far, and many more that are still on there and are going to be ripening until the end of September. Well, I think this could be one of the most prolific growers in terms of all the raspberries that I have. I really can't wait for this variety to grow taller so I can trellis it, and maybe even top it off a little bit to get lateral branching and get even more berries as we go. But yeah, okay guys, I think this is, even though this is part 2 of our Double Gold raspberry review, I think this is the main review because we actually let these raspberries fully ripen and fully develop, and we get a really good sense of their shape and their color and their size and their weight. So yeah, I strongly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and I'll do my best to include more such videos about growing fruit in your backyard: raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, figs, and grapes primarily. I've got several different varieties of each, and yeah, so please do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.